It's a simple look. Here's the Last of Us, right? You would
Okay. Josh, if you want to talk about this, I don't want to like take up everyone's space or whatever, or whatever the case is. You can hit me on PlayStation, but I can give you a good couple of reasons why that's not. It's
from what I can see, the story for The Last of Us was simply taking the girl from point A to B.
I guess. I mean,
and if you want to go deeper, right? Is how a little girl can chip away at the hard exterior of a man. All right, cool, I get it. All right. Some deaths. Some deaths. Okay, cool.
And then they gave you the follow-up. They gave you the part 2.
Then the part 2 was then the part 2 was a revenge story about some girl going through puberty and maybe I think the reason why she went off the way that she did was because she was on her period.
Wow, that's so okay. You know what? Okay.
She did all that in a week. If you peep it, she did all that in a week, and then she calmed down.
I'm gonna be honest. Okay. If you want,
yo, she gonna be mad.
No.
Yo, Cece, don't get mad. Don't get mad.
No, I'm not getting mad. But let's get into the meta commentary of what The Last of Us 2 was, right? Ellie went off in a week, and she did all that bullshit, and I'm angry. Wasn't that not the fan base of The Last of Us when that game came out? Like, and even up until now, it's just the idea of holding on to like fucking. Like this bad shit that happened to you, and it's like, bitch, you need to let go of it. You need to let go of it.
I told you the only reason why she didn't let go of it is because it was their time in the month. You know what I'm saying? And then when it was finally done, she was like, oh, she was like, where am I?
Okay, so what about all the niggas that like fuck this game, whatever, that are still like fuck this game, and it's like it's been 3 years, like. It's been your time of the month for 3 years. Like, you're still mad. Like, you couldn't do what Ellie did and just let it go and just. Like,
I don't think. Look. I don't think. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this again, man. I don't think it's because of Joel why people are pissed. I feel like there's two reasons. Because I'm one of those guys that really didn't like The Last of Us Part 2. I get where they were trying to go. Like, I'm not stupid with that, but I don't like how they did it. The execution was terrible to me. But I will say this, right? And I mean, the concept was pretty cool. But I will say this, right? Because there's many different ways that they could have done it, and it will make logical sense.
I can agree with that.
You know what I mean? So, like, for instance, I would rather Abby did this whole infiltration. You know what I'm saying? She pretended to be a damsel in distress, and Joel let her in, and then she plotted to kill him. You know what I'm saying? And then Ellie may have spotted her doing it or in the act, and she escaped or whatever, went back to the wolves. And then that's when Ellie did her little conquest. I feel like that would have cleaned up a lot of this stuff in the game. But it was like it was like this thing going back and forth. Like she put everybody in danger. And one could say that she was so pissed, but like in that type of world, you wouldn't do that because life is precious, and you wouldn't just put everybody else in danger. It was just stupid.
Did she put everyone in danger? Because to be fair, Ellie didn't want to go. It was wasn't it Joel's brother that already had left off and had?
No, I ain't talking about that part. I'm talking about the beginning. I'm not talking about. Yeah, it was her.
Oh, you meant when she overslept because she was eating puss the night before?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And apparently it smelled bad. She smelled her pants. She was like, not so fresh. I was like, I guess it wouldn't be so fresh in that world, right? I mean, ain't like you got baby powder is at the ready.
It looks like they had a lot of things. Y'all niggas had guns. Y'all niggas had corned beef sandwiches ready to go.
No, they had zebra burritos. She was fucking them shits up. So that's what they were eating zebras. They didn't want to tell you that shit. That's why that little zebra that got caught up in that barbed wire was precious. They're like, nigga, we don't want to waste no food. Save this nigga, yo.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
No, but I'm just joking. This is all in terms of her being on her time of the month. I'm just trying to be goofy, but like, I feel like the execution, like I said before, would have made more sense if she did an infiltration and stuff like that. And she could have did the whole thing where, you know what I'm saying? They could have even did this where she infiltrated, and you're playing as Joel, and you try to win him over. You know what I'm saying? Or she's trying to win her over because she kind of knew. Like, I feel like her reaction was way too ridiculous. Because again, if you were so certain about you wanting to kill yourself, right, or sacrifice yourself, excuse me, uh, for the greater of mankind, then why were you trying to get Joel to be friends with you? You know, the whole time. Wow, like that doesn't make any that storyline that doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like in the first, that's why I said they retcon some shit to make the second
I don't
story
know.
work.
I feel like when Abby ran it, like so, like you know when the moment where you know that Joel is Joel, and she kind of has like you're playing as Abby, and she kind of has that moment of like, oh shit, this is like I feel like she's kind of having those second, like she's having those second thoughts because as you play through her afterwards, you know she doesn't really feel good about what she's doing. So like I
No,
agree with
because the
you.
guy saved her, and like I said, there was no like, you know what I'm saying? Like he ended up saving her, and she's like, oh, this is the infamous Joel that killed my like. It just was a lot
But
of
it,
gas. Like that game,
but
you
she
know
could
what? You know
but
what
she
the
could
game?
have killed
But
him
hold on,
right
Kerr.
then and there.
Hold on, Kerr. This was. She didn't know him. She didn't know it was him. Originally, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right.
Supposedly, I'm sure she would have gotten the image as a bearded guy that's old and is. I'm sure she would have understood it, but in the thick of it, let's just give her the benefit of the doubt, right?
Right.
But to me, I'm looking at the situation when it comes to Abby, right? And if you did the whole infiltration thing, you know what I'm saying? Like it would have made more sense to me. Like if I would have wrote the story, it would have made a lot more sense as to
Right.
how. And somebody actually, like I was looking at like the making of it or whatever, and they were saying that she was supposed to infiltrate. You know what I'm saying? And if you
And
were like,
I think
huh?
it would have worked out better. I think it would have worked out better that way. Like if you played as Abby for the first half of the game, but there was no killing of Joel, you're just playing as Abby, and people are still trying to figure out like,
Who is
why am
this
I playing
girl?
as
Whatever
this
the case
bitch?
is. And she
Right?
could have
Yeah.
got.
Like
And
I'm
you
just.
know what would have made it more impactful? She could have gotten like instead of Dina, she could
Fuck
have been
Dina.
trying to do whatever it takes to like win her over, and then Ellie start liking Abby and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know, to really
No.
get
No. No.
to really get close to it, right? And
No,
then
that's a bit too much for me.
no, but that they want drama, right? That would have worked. And then right, she actually, they go on the missions together, and then Joe is telling him or telling Abby about what's going like their missions together and stuff like that. And I did X, Y, and Z, and that's when she just get like starts to boil over. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And she's like, Joe, I need your help. This is blah 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 blah. And Jackson, right? And then Joe, and then he's like, Abby, what's going on, girl? Baby girl, what's going on? And she like, you motherfucker, and she beats the shell out of him, right? And she's like, and then she's like, that's what you get. And then Ellie was like, what's all this?
Okay, you see, and that is low key why I like the direction they really went. Because I'm not saying what you're saying is like less like
You can't. It's better.
but no, it's more digestible, but it's not profound. It sounds like a 2 p.m. soap opera, bro.
It was a 2 p.m. soap opera in the first place. I didn't want to hear the stories about Dina and fucking Ellie, yo. Like, I'm not a lesbian. I'm sorry. Like, I don't have nothing against them. I don't understand. Like,
Did you have to be a lesbian to get into Ellie's story? I feel like
no, it was like, no. Like I said before, the way that they positioned it, it was just like they were talking about things like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so if you're not like, like homosexual, right?
Mhm.
And if they had like, let's just say it was a nuke instead of like Ellie, it was like Elliot, right? Let's say Elliot was he was gay, right? And if you start talking like he was just like walking along the lines of like, that's why I say that like Naughty Dog didn't do anything brave. If you want to do something brave, make Ellie into Elliot and see how that goes. I want to see that.
I mean,
You know what I mean? But we don't want to. But we don't want to have that conversation. Could you imagine the shit?
You're not trying to bother the real life Elliot Page because she's already.
Oh no. I mean that was a happy accident. But like the thing is, if you want to call it there, right? Could you imagine like how like what would have happened if that was the case, right? You know, if they were downstairs and like where they were smoking weed. Hey yo, that shit good, yo. Can you kiss me one more time for real? Man, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. And it's just
I
where,
mean,
well, to the people that would have. But here's the thing, right? If
it's all.
if you were like majority of the gaming industry for guys, or for from what I understand, they are heterosexual. So like when if they were talking about like whatever like butt plugs or whatever the case is, right? I wouldn't be able to relate. And what they were
Right,
doing, and what they were doing with Elliot, what they were doing Ellie and Dina, it was just like it felt like a CW thing.
I don't know. Okay, so I'm not a lesbian, clearly, but like I didn't think anything about Ellie and Dina's relationship was, if anything, if I was part of the LGBT community, this shit is actually disgusting because it's very heteronormative. We need to have the kid. We're gonna get the bitch pregnant. We're gonna play I'm gonna be the butch lesbian. You're gonna be the
That's
lesbian.
that's all I'm saying. What you're saying, you said it in a more elegant way than I could have said it. To me, it doesn't. To me, it was just they were trying to cover bases. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that wasn't the profound thing. Like to me, allowing yourself to let go of a grudge was a different story. But she was already angry with him, yo. She was furious with what's his name? She was furious with Joel.
Said it. I want my life to mean something.
Bitch, why? But why did all that shit to impress Joel and have Joel like be her surrogate father, only for her to change her fucking mind and say
she didn't do. Okay. So she was doing.
I believe if I remember correctly, everyone that I've ever known is fucking dead. Everyone except for you. That's what I remember she said. So you can't tell me that she wasn't looking for him to be like a family member.
She was looking. I feel like she was trying to prove herself in a sense because you remember Joel didn't even want to fucking take her on.
He was hardcore, yo. He was
like, you're a fucking package. I don't really see
He was saying that she was a package, but here's the thing that I liked about the original Last of Us, right? Every time she would do something goofy, and if you can play The Last of Us Part 1 again, you'll see it for yourself. I like those little nuances. Every time she would do something, he would look at his watch. The watch doesn't work, but the watch...
The one his daughter...
Yeah, every time she would do something goofy, like try to whistle, he would look at his watch every single time. And it's because it reminded him of his daughter. He said those ugly things so she won't get attached to him and he won't get attached to her. And he failed ultimately. He was like, well, fuck it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, but he wasn't fucked up on purpose. He was like, yo, I don't want to lose nobody else. Nobody else. I can't do it. I'd rather be alone.
I thought it was a great ending to the first game. It was just like, you can't really judge him. It's like, I see where this man is coming from. And I see where outsiders are coming from. It's great. That's good storytelling.
But this other one was, to me, like, they could have won. You said that it was like a, like a soap opera thing, and that's how they did it in the first place. Who's gonna take my baby? Who's gonna be this? Oh, I'm having an affair with the Asian guy. Oh my God! Like, I was like, what is this? The fucking zombies is walking around, or the fucking the infected. Excuse me, zombie. Anyway, how could you do that? Move. Anyway, how could you do that?
I appreciated the fact that it kind of like played back into the whole like Joel's dialogue, because even before he met Ellie, he was like a smuggler, so he was always killing people, and he just never gave a fuck about the consequences of things.
How do we know that? How do we know that? How do you know that he didn't care?
He never expressed that to you in the first game. I wouldn't say the second game. Obviously, he didn't live that long. But the first game, he did not give a fuck. Because you remember when the whole thing happened when they met up with like the black guy and his son, and he was ready to be like, let's get the fuck out of here.
No, but here's the thing though. When they because what happened with the son, like Henry and Sam. He did kind of try to help them, So his smuggler thing was only a means for survival, like he always said. Like with anybody. Like with anybody, you're not going to try to reason with somebody that's trying to fucking kill you. Like that's how the world is. Like I have to live. You know what I'm saying? He's looking like damn, and then he lost his daughter. He's like, all this can't be for nothing. You know what I mean? I'm here and my daughter isn't here, so I gotta make the best out of the shit. You know what I mean? He don't like to kill people. He's not a fucking psychopath that's murdering people. That's not what he's doing. But people are attacking his ass.
Sure. No,
What do y'all what do y'all want me to do? Like sacrifice? Like it's weird when I hear like the Last of Us fandom, yo. They act like he's supposed to just lie down and take it. That ain't it.
No. I'm not saying he's supposed to lie down and take it in any respect. I'm just saying that's just his character. You know what
His
I mean?
character is a survivor, like anybody else. That whole world is basically trying to survive. That's what that whole world is trying to do. He's no different from anyone else, but everyone demonized him for no reason. That's my problem.
I don't know. I feel like Joel was not very like even when you saw like different factions post of the whatever apocalypses was, there was a sense of like family. Even when we were playing with Abby and her wolf squad and everything, and just like how they moved. Granted, it was still like a faction at the end of the day, and everyone had to do their thing. But everyone was still like, there's that sense of like community, and I felt like Joel never had community.
He did have community. He had a small. He did have a community. He had a small group of people that he could trust, and that was it. Chess being one of them. He didn't want to have that. He didn't want to have that many.
It seemed like it was only Tess.
No, the people that he interacted, the people that he interacted with, like especially when he went through the apartment building and they moved the TV. You know, to get him through and stuff like that. He had people. He just wasn't. He wasn't like. They weren't like. You know what I mean? Like they weren't like his best friends and shit like that. Like he kept himself distant because he keep losing people, and I don't blame him. Like that's what happens. That's the trauma shit. Like that's what happens. Like Tess.
And I think I think that makes Joel a very compelling. I think he's a great character, and I think they did what they needed to do because it's just like everything you just said right in part one, and then you're like, you know, like people are like, oh, in part two he changed so much, and it's like
he did change so much.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
He went through that entire adventure.
He went through his whole life from him being 30 to 50. Doing the same thing. You will not get up and change your shit up.
But bro, you can't go from this bitch is a package. I need to get this job done and deliver it to like, okay, fuck the job, fuck the package. I fall in like his emotions.
A whole year. He was with that girl for a whole year, right? Fine. And he's still. Here's the thing.
And not only that, he also rekindled like his relationship with his brother, because remember Tommy was like ready to shoot his head off, and then Tommy was the one that kind of gave him the horse so they could go through. He hasn't seen Tommy in so many years, so it's like between Ellie and Tommy and that whole adventure, I feel like Joel is realizing like this is the new world, right? And, this is not my real daughter, but this is something close to it. Like, I've grown this, like, bond and this connection. There is this sense of community, right? I have Tommy. There's his wife. I could go back to this little town. And it makes sense why he's so soft in part two.
He is soft. He is uncharacteristically soft because, again, they even... Oh, hold on. He even wanted to stop smuggling altogether in the first game. And that's when Tess questioned him. He's older. She was like, oh, that doesn't even sound like you. He wants to be done with it. Now, being done with it and being an idiot and telling your first and last fucking name in a world where you can't trust fucking people is a totally different thing. Now, he fought for Ellie because what the fuck else do you have to live for? His girlfriend is dead and there's nobody else. If I die in the process, she saved me. If I die in the process saving her, fuck it. I don't care. That's a different story than if I ever want to lose you.
No, stop, bro.
Myself. No, sir, no.
No. We all just went through the COVID pandemic, and we know what a community could do to people. Like, it changes things, right? Like, he had a community at the end of the day.
No, social media changed things in the fucking pandemic, not a community.
When he decided, you know what, fuck civilization, I've grown this bond, I found a personal reason to keep living, And fuck, if you niggas can even live to see another day, I found something personal. I think that's really the question to like whoever's like playing the game at that time, and you can like kind of like combat that. But he had his community. Yeah, I understand where they were at like that time period, and it's like whatever. But they still had a community. They still had food. They just basically got all like all anarchy in a sense, right? Like there's no real government, and they're doing their own thing, and it's like you find like-minded people, and it's like like we could both agree we know the type of person that Joel is, and we saw the type of person that Ellie is, and we know the type of person that Joel's brother is, and all that good stuff. So it's like we can only assume the community all functions the same way, right? So if you know that so many people are on their guard, so well equipped, and things like that, I think it's just human nature that you will typically get a little more relaxed, right? Like when like no matter how things are on the outside, you will find a way to relax. And that's what they did. They had a state of relaxation in this like apocalypse and all the bullshit that they've been
no, you're giving them way too much, sir. No, you relax within the comfort of your own fucking home. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Jackson would have been. You out of your own comfort, meeting a fucking stranger. You're compromising your own home. I'm not gonna open the door. Even we're not in that type of pandemic now, right? But if somebody knock on my fucking door was like, help, it's cold outside. You go to the nearest fucking convenience store and warm the fuck up there, yo. I'm sorry, I don't know you.
Yeah, you know what? You're totally right, and I can see where people are kind of like, why did he run off with her, or whatever? But you got to think about the situation, right?
The thing is,
living in this nice communal area. We've only been shooting and fighting infected for the past couple of years. We see some actual live person. And mind you, this person is not trying to attack us. They're running for their lives.
It don't matter. He already knows how suspicious things are. Like the situation where they threw that fucking truck down, and he was like, he ain't hurt. No, he already know what it is. He has 20 years of experience.
Josh, you wouldn't put your guards down like if it's the real.
No, I'm not gonna put my. If somebody knock on my door, what's going on, man? If somebody knocks on the door, right? And be like, oh my gosh, somebody help me.
But that's not what happened, though.
No, that is what happened, man. He said, come here, I'm going to help you out, and let's go to this one spot. I know a spot. Come here, get up. He went over there. I'm not going to sit there and open the door for somebody. Be like, hey, oh my gosh, you can come in my house. You know what I mean? You good? It's cold out here. You know what I mean? My name is John Doe. And my social security number is 123. Like, come on, bro.
You're dragging it, bro. Because I'm just thinking of it like.
No, he's really correct. Okay, sorry. Can I say something?
No, go ahead, Sage.
The thing is that he's correct about Joel. Joel to that day did not trust anybody. His characteristics did not change, even when he was an outcast in Jackson. And the thing is, the problem is that when he went out with his brothers, essentially scouting,
right.
What happened was the snowstorm happened, and every single bit of, the instinct that Joel had, was completely thrown off by the fact that, the creatures were coming after them, and there was a snowstorm at the same time. So if he had just met Abby at that moment, like, chances are, and saved her life without of course he didn't know her. He would have just saved her life and just moved on with his life, But the thing is that, like, and because the thing is, when he saved her life, he didn't know who she was. That's the thing. She was a child when she, he killed the father. So, and two, she was not even around. So the thing is that, like, he was. As far as that plan was concerned, he was like dead in the water because he didn't know what was what. That anybody had a plan. He knew everybody in Jackson, but something felt off. Something felt fishy. Tommy was the one who forced Joel to lower his guard. not the other way around.
Well, not only that, but there's lore. There's actual lore
Yeah, but
stating that
Tommy. Sorry, Tommy. Yeah, but Tommy was the friendly one. He was the one who was always welcoming people into Jackson. And so when something new happened, Joel would be the one to destroy a good thing. Tommy would be the one to save it. After Joel died, Tommy fell apart. He was pretty much the leader of the whole town. Made rational decisions, made sure everything was proper and on the up and up. But the thing is that he was the exact polar opposite of Joel, and Joel did not, even in part 2, did not trust anyone. That whole snowstorm, and everything, threw everything out the window, and they had to trust her because it was either stay in that house and follow Abby, or it was get stuck with the rest of those zombies.
If Joe because if Joe was the same
yeah,
shit.
But he had to go with Tommy.
Damn, can I speak?
He went with Tommy.
Okay, and maybe those are those details that skipped over or whatever, were in the initial playthrough. But even then, I feel like that's still realistic, for someone.
Yeah. Bro. If Joe was a demon that everybody claimed that he would have let that bitch get eaten up by the mushrooms. So that's number one. Number two, he would have just kept it moving. They would have slowed down and ate her ass up.
Clickers. That was it.
I know what is click. I know. It's just
no. I said creatures myself. I forget. It's been a while.
There's that, and then there's also when you read the books and stuff like that, the journal, and then Ellie says that she's like, "Damn, I can't do anything. Like Joel's so overprotective of me." So for him to go from him being overprotective to, "Hi, my name is John Doe," and here's the key to everything.
But the thing is, he didn't introduce himself.
I know, but he also said my name is Joe.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Why are you coming in here doing that, bro?
Because Tommy threw him under the bus.
My God, I can't even finish my statement. I never said that he was introduced himself. I never said it.
Oh my God! But when people say it like that, it makes him sound.
It don't matter if I say it like that. I didn't say it. You making assumptions. I never said it.
Are you serious? So you're telling me you didn't sound like you just said.
I don't care what it sounds like, man. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I don't care what it sounds like. I didn't say it.
Okay, you didn't say it. Okay, got it.
All I'm saying is that he mentioned his name, Joe Miller, and then she said it.
Yeah, because the reason why Tommy did it is because he is the town leader.
He said, "I'm Tommy," and he said, "This is my brother Joe."
Tommy threw him under the bus. Tommy is the one who trusts people more. Joel
I'm not disputing that Tommy did anything. That's not my point. My point is.
So question, just knowing that whole sequence, and that happened before they got to the cabin and everything, right? And just seeing Abby's reaction, when he said "Oh, I'm this, I'm that," Josh, it almost seems that she was conflicted on what to do in that point.
She was. She was.
But and I almost feel like if she really had that vitriol for Joel, she would have killed him right then and there. Fuck anything else.
She wouldn't have. Because the thing is that she killing Joel and Tommy without a distraction. No, that ain't happening.
There's a thing when somebody
she took him to a place where he could be ambushed.
There was a thing. That's basically what it is. So there was a thing, right? Like I said, he could have let that bitch get eaten and kept it moving. If he was the demon,
he could have. Yes.
If he was a demon that everybody claims, right? So here's the thing, right? She took when he introduced himself, but he introduced himself in the house. But they could have just because no one wanted to do it, right? No one wanted to do this crusade. You know what I'm saying? But he's a known guy that he's basically like an anti-hero essentially to everybody else. He's like everybody's looking at him like a legend. So she wouldn't just shoot him on spot. It's like I'm in the room with a guy that killed so many fucking people, including my father. That's the kind of thing that was going to make you hesitate because you're like, I don't know how he was able to do.
He's a villain. He's a villain for them.
Oh my God.
It's not. There's a difference between a villain and an anti-hero.
Or whatever. I'm saying the person is. I didn't want to say anti-hero because I didn't know how to say it. He's infamous, but he has this reputation, and they're like, well, he killed all those people. How did he kill all these people?
Yeah.
You know, that makes people that would make like okay. So if it was a skinny ass motherfucking person, like if Jeffrey Dahmer came into your house, right, without any weapons, right, nothing,
Yeah.
you would be like, you would kind of have some fear. You can't just, you wouldn't just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what he
If
was.
you knew it was Jeffrey Dahmer.
If you-
Jeffrey Dahmer, right? I was gonna be like, why the fuck is Jeffrey Dahmer in my fucking
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, come on in. You want to?
No, I'm just saying, if you, I'm just saying, like, how you would react to somebody that has a crazy ass reputation. You know what I'm saying? It's not you.
Yeah, but that's the reason why he laid low for 5 years.
Who?
Joel.
We're not.
Because he knew everybody was after him.
See, y'all injecting that shit where it never was said.
Injecting what?
They never said they never said he hit out because he was.
Joe was laying
Where?
low
Okay,
in
so
Jackson
let's
for
scratch
5
this.
years.
Let's scratch this. You know what you should do? Stage. Show me where they say that he hit out for 5 years. I don't want to hear no other things, man. Just show me.
Oh my God.
Just show me. If you there's no oh my God. Just show me. Just show me. That's all you gotta do. And I will capitulate. I will capitulate. Just show me where it says in the story.
Do you know what Joel did in the first game at the end of that game?
I want you to show
No,
me. All I gotta say is this. Just show me where it says that Joe hit out in the lore.
Joe was laying low in the group. He was not talking to
That's
anyone.
okay.
He was an outcast.
That's okay. But show me where it is.
Bro, hold on. Bro, hold on.
Why can't you show me what it is?
Hold on. Hear me out.
You're just trying to express that why you think that he was hiding out. I don't want to hear why you think. I just want to know in the lore where he was hiding out. That's all I want to know.
No, of course he's not saying.
No, they
like
said a lot of other things too, which I can substantiate.
Yes.
But you can't substantiate that he was hiding out for 5 years.
Yes, but there's things we can infer.
No, we're not. You inferring your own story. That's why I don't like about. That's why I don't like about The Last of Us Part 2, man. Too many people inferring shit.
Wait. That's good storytelling.
It was.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Hold on. Can I?
Go ahead, Sage.
No, but listen, I can't blame Listen for feeling the way he does. The thing is that when Joel took out the last hope humanity had to actually get a vaccine, he knew people would come for him, but he had to make a choice. He made a choice that Ellie's life was more important to him, or at least her being alive, rather than losing her life to save the world.
Why are you still trying to explain to me your interpretation? I don't want to hear I don't want to hear nobody's interpretation.
How can you take out a whole group?
I don't want to hear nobody's interpretation. Show me where I want to see in the lore where it says Joel had decided to.
Josh,
The last hope. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, just in the base of storytelling, just like regardless of the medium. That's what we were saying earlier. Like, I think good storytelling is this right here. Like, we have debates, you have arguments. That's good art. Like, there's a
level. Hold on. There's a level.
It's not just like,
Josh, he's right.
You know, it's not just like, okay, we can all agree to like, okay, that was a good ending. It's a happy ending. No, like.
No, there's a level where it becomes less so inferring and more so filling in for your fan fiction because the writer failed to do it.
It's not.
No.
So let me speak on that.
No, because sometimes writers just like.
Can I speak on that? Oh, Nib's here.
Yeah, let me.
I'm a mute.
All right, so yeah, on the point about like filling in, I reckon that's an important part of writing because I can't stand when writers feel the need to handhold every individual detail. It's not organic. Like some of it should just be implied inference to imagination or whatever.
Before you go on, Nib.
Nib.
Yo, Nib. No.
Josh, man, come on.
Stop. Stage.
Writing is like, or it's okay for like Disney films and stuff.
Yo, Nibs, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, hold on. Let me
before you go on, right? How are you today?
Yeah, I'm not bad. I'm in London now.
Is it because he's driving a BMW? You never asked me how I was feeling.
Oh.
I
I know how
didn't
you
hear
feel.
him.
You know what? You know what, Stage? I know how you
Christmas
feeling,
to you,
yo.
man.
I know how you
Merry
feeling.
Christmas.
You feeling some type of way because you haven't changed your
Man,
smoke
he's like, fuck
detector.
your feelings, State.
You haven't change your
I
smoke
didn't get
detector, and
that
I'll
same
act
part,
differently.
We love you too, Josh. Don't worry.
Change your
But
smoke
anyway,
detector,
so-
and I'll act differently. Go.
Oh, and now he wants to bring up the smoke detector. Fine, I'm not fixing that bitch for
Anyway,
years.
so let me speak on this.
Yeah, you
Joel
go on. The floor is
Trusting,
yours,
right?
Nibs.
So-
I just wanted to ask you how you were. That's all.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you anyway?
It's cold as hell. It's like 6 degrees out here, like literally.
Merry Christmas,
Or how you say literally.
Literally, yes. But yeah, so on Joel's trusting, right? I think there's a misconception that Joel doesn't trust anyone because in the first game he actually shows some examples where he is willing to trust for survival's sake. So in the first game, when he meets Sam and Henry, and obviously they have the situation, and then he's like, they have that incident where they're holding each other up, and then they say, look, we have a hideout. Why don't you come to our hideout? We can help each other. And he says, all right, fine, take me to the hideout. And they basically, for the sake of survival, he ends up going to these people he's never met and who he doesn't know, but he's willing to put his guard down because he essentially does the assessment in his head and thinks, yeah, we're more likely to survive together. In the same situation in the beginning of The Last of Us 2, there's a snowstorm. He actually says, we're not going to make it out here. One of them mentions that we're not going to survive out here. So they're like, okay, we've got a hideout.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, it's basically like an exact parallel of a scene in Last of Us 1. And so I don't think it is far-fetched that Joel would, in that situation, once again, for survival, go with that route and be trusting, because at the end of the day it's better than staying outside in a blizzard with clickers. Like, there's no reason to not take that option. And the second thing is, Joel is not, again, this is kind of like that implied storytelling. Joel is not going to be the same Joel from the first game because he has 4 years of being domesticized, and it does hint at that multiple times. And even the very last cutscene, he says, "Oh, like he traded for coffee with some random, whatever you want to call them, who visited their clan or town." And she jokes, like, what did you trade for it? And he makes a crack, like, you don't even want to know. So I think, like, we can see that the Joel in this game is kind of like an older, wiser, calmer, more trusting Joel. This is a guy who plays guitar, who chills, who just wants to enjoy his remaining time, and he literally trades with outsiders and stuff like that. So I don't think he is the same Joel. And even if he was the same Joel, I think he's already shown a capacity to trust others, depending on the situation. So situationally, so I can't agree that scene, it doesn't play out accurately, or it pushes the bars. I actually think, if anything, it's like pretty easy to digest and stomach, and I can absolutely see it.
I would never. I never said that he
listen,
wasn't. I never said that he wasn't a trusting person.
Oh,
Right. I never said that. I never said that he was. Why are you so obnoxious, Stage? God darn it! I never said that he couldn't be he wasn't trusting people. I just said that he wouldn't give out his whole fucking government to somebody he didn't know. And my issue was, right, that everybody demonizes Joel, saying that he's a horrible person. He could have let that bitch get ate up and kept it moving. He didn't have to save her at all. And if he was the same fucked up Joel as before, he would be like, "Well, we gotta go, brother." But she get ate. We survivors. We gotta go.
That's a really important narrative thread, because the whole point is that even if you do change as a person and you do, you try and find redemption, the past can always catch up with you. That's kind of like the whole point of it. Like, Joel, you can be a different person now and you can pretend to be Daddy, but the past is catching up with you. And
exactly.
That is the whole point of it.
I told this to Kurt.
You hit the nail on the head, Nib.
Please stop talking over me, bro.
I'm sorry. Okay, fine. I'll wait. Damn.
I told this to Kerr that I don't think that the execution. I mean, I don't think that the story is bad. I think that the execution was lackluster. Was needs improvement. That's all I said. They could have had the same situations or the same scenario, or not scenario, but the same situation happen, but different scenario, or reworked. I mentioned that like if she went into the base and infiltrated, then yeah, that'd been cool. You know what I'm saying? Then, and she plotted on killing them that way. It would have been more digestible in that case, and less.
How?
And less.
Because they would have. If Joel got lost, the whole town would have known who did it.
No, you didn't. See, this is what happens when you jump into a space and you didn't hear the whole thing.
Well,
Just like,
no, but
just like,
that's still,
just like what Nib did. Nib just did that because he thought that I was saying that he doesn't trust
everybody
anybody,
in
and
the
that's not
town
what I
knows
was.
one another. The only reason, bro, but by the time those
you
two
didn't.
guys,
Did you? But you
they
didn't.
were the pack
But you
leaders.
didn't hear what I was saying earlier.
No, but they were the pack leaders. They knew that
You
she
still didn't
was
hear
not
what I
from
said
there.
earlier. You still didn't hear what I said earlier.
Okay.
My whole scenario was to scrap the whole snowstorm situation anyway. I feel like that was the.
Yeah, but Joel knew she didn't live in those houses. Joel knew everybody.
But you didn't hear what I was proposing. But you didn't hear what I was proposing. You didn't hear what I was proposing.
Okay.
So you're just automatically shooting it down.
No, I'm saying Joel had his guard up.
When I talk about the guard, but you didn't hear my situation though. You didn't hear my scenario.
Let's get to that situation. Hold on a second.
Quite frankly, the situation was to scrap that whole snowstorm idea, right? To have like, let's say she knocks on the doors of Jackson and say that, and I think Nibs heard me say this before too. Like I'm hurt, or whatever the case is, and they let him in or whatever, and because she had intel that he was there, and she tried to infiltrate the place as like a regular stray person that wanted to, that wanted to join the ranks of Jackson, and then in that particular process, she ended up killing Joel.
I mean that was her plan.
Yeah, that was the original plan.
Yeah, that was the original plan. But I think the snowstorm point of it was like to show that shit happens, and in the heat of the moment, whatever help and whatever assistance, whatever happens, you kind of just wing it, right? Like if we were in that situation, we're not going to be thinking like so strategically. It's just like flight, survival. It's like flight or whatever they call. I forgot the term, but you just do on impulse.
Fight or flight, yeah, fight or flight.
Yeah, fight or flight, yeah, and that was basically that entire situation was that, and in the process, there was a bit of trust earned as well, because if me and Stage we're in a fucking blizzard and there's zombies chasing us and we help each other survive, immediately there's a bit of trust garnered from both of us, so it's one of those like sticky situations where it was just everything fell into place, unlucky for Joel.
Exactly.
No, yeah. I mean, but that doesn't mean just because the situation just because the situation.
It took those circumstances.
But that's the infer thing that I was telling you about.
No, but that's not. Well, here we go. But I mean, it just shows.
Because to me personally, the game, like if you want to make a story, there's. I don't understand why I just keep getting talked over. I don't get it.
Oh my lord! Just because we were talking.
Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
All I'm saying is this: just because, like, when you make a story, right, and if you want to make a story that sells money. And piss off the people that you like even with Game of Thrones, right? They fucked up the last season and whatever the case is, and one people could say that you like it or hate it or whatever the case is, but there's a syntax to making stories, and I get that they were trying to, go against the grain of how you would normally do it, but there's formulas there for a reason. I'm not saying that it's, to me, like I said before, it could have been done better to me. When you looking at how you write stories and stuff like that, that's all I'm saying.
But you, I think you missed what Nib said just now. The whole point of The Last of Us is about cycles. It's basically about a fall, rising up, bringing about and saving someone else, essentially taking care of somebody else and redeeming yourself. Now the thing is with Joel. The difference between his cycle and Abby's cycle is that Joel essentially righted a wrong in his life by saving Ellie, but at the same time he took the hope of the world with him
Oh
when he
God,
redeemed himself. So he selfishly.
cannot
Hold
have
on,
this conversation
hold on. Let
anymore,
me finish.
man.
Let me finish.
I
Let
can't.
me finish.
Just finish the conversation, please.
No, wait. Let's
He selfishly redeemed himself. He redeemed himself on his own terms.
Yeah, he took her agency basically.
Yeah,
he took the decision
exactly
that she should have been able to make.
Yeah. And then after that, the difference with Abby is Abby went through the same situation. She went through the same cycle. She lost somebody. She turned into a militant killer, where Joel turned into a violent smuggler. And then essentially she went through a cycle where eventually she met Lev.
You cut off stage, but Lev is kind of like an analogy of Ellie. Really.
Joel. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, my phone blacked out. Sorry, because
you're breaking up.
I was gonna say, do you guys think that Abby is like 1-for-1 for like basically what Joel was in the first game?
Exactly.
When you're playing through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is the thing, because the final.
Can I finish real quick?
Yeah.
The thing is that so basically, Ellie was going through her cycle when she lost Joel. That was supposed to be her fault. And essentially her rise was supposed to be essentially, living together and making a family and stuff like that, after that whole situation. But Ellie really has no one else to save but the world, because that's her story. This whole game was always about her. So the thing is that Joel took her agency, as Nib said, to save the world, because he selfishly wanted to save her life. He did not care about saving the world. And so the thing is, she's going to have to right those wrongs. That's why she was mad at him. Because she took that agency. And then Lev told her, if you, basically, the reason why she didn't kill Lev is because the cycle would continue. The cycle of killing and redemption and all that stuff would continue, with Lev coming after her the same way she came after Abby and killed that whole town.
Yeah, it's a God of War story. Repackaged.
No. It's a story.
Literally
a cycle.
It's a story of cycle of revenge. God of War.
God of War is basic as shit.
No, you just don't want to admit it, Kerr. That's what it is.
No, Josh, I'm not.
You just don't want to admit that this is essentially God of War story.
Kratos finishes his cycle.
Then he should have died in that story. You know what I'm saying? Because it like you said, right? It all catches up to you in the end, right? And so should, you know what? Ellie should have got a golf club in her head. Is it because again it catches up?
No.
Ellie, Stage, you're not Nib or anyone else, or y'all not saying anything like profound. The story is very easy to follow. It is. I don't like the way it was told. That's my point.
Can I just give an opinion on this?
Go.
Yeah, so I think the thing is, it's not just about breaking the cycle. I think for Ellie, part of the story is not forgiving Abby, but forgiving herself. And I know that sounds cliche, but I'll explain.
Because it is.
The thing is, the final cutscene in the whole game, the final memory she sees of Joel. The final memory is he tells her the story about the coffee. They have a moment on the balcony, and she says, "I will never forgive you, but I'm willing to try." And then the day after, he gets killed. Right? So she spent 4 years having a shitty relationship with this guy because she couldn't get over him taking away her agency. And essentially, with the little time they had left, they had a horrible relationship. Right? They could have had a great one. And then the very day that she decides, you know what, I'm going to start the process of trying to forgive him, is the day that he gets taken away. So she blames herself as much as Abby. It's like, fuck, why did I hold this grudge so vehemently? And I lost the final years I had with this guy who, it wasn't the best relationship, but it was the best thing I had in a long time. And I squandered it. And that's what the whole final cutscene is. It's like, she has to come to terms with the fact that actually she fucked it as well. Had she forgiven him sooner and had they had a better relationship, she probably wouldn't have felt as vitriolic towards Abby as she did. Because Yeah, half of her hatred is towards herself, right? Like that's why the final cutscene is as it is. Like she's coming to terms with her own.
But I'm
guilt
sorry,
as
Nibs,
much as
Nibs,
she
Nibs,
is.
Nibs. I keep telling you guys this over and over again, and you guys don't understand what I'm saying. I don't understand why y'all don't get it.
I'm not saying you're saying anything, I'm
I
just
like the
giving my
novelty of the I like the story premise. I said I think the execution sucks.
Yeah, they all think that because Joel died the way he
No,
did.
there you go with
You
the
know,
inferring.
here's
There you go with the
wanted Ellie
inferring.
to get a
You
clip
keep
of
like
that
that.
so
That is
bad.
such a.
Bro,
You keep
you
inferring
saying
that.
this.
It's not about Joe, man. Like, cause Joe, you get over
Is
that.
that what you're
Can you please
inferring,
stop
my
talking
friend?
over
Is
me?
that what
God
you
damn
inferring?
it.
Hold, John.
All right. Okay.
Sorry.
So what do you think would have been better execution? Given us examples.
So the premise of being like forgiving yourself and you like what you were saying before, you know what I'm saying? Like she wanted to right her wrongs essentially because she couldn't forgive herself for being such a bitch the whole time. She didn't see things her way, right? She was just awful. I get that she didn't like the fact that he took her agency away, as you said before, which I'll come back to. Oh my God.
She's the hero. Because of him.
Bro, can you stop. All I'm saying is this. Like like every time, like I don't understand. Like he's hype. You know, I get you like the game. It's okay. It's okay. I don't like it. It's you know, you can have opinions. You can agree to disagree. You know.
Yeah, I'm not trying to reject your opinion. I mean, it's a fairly, it's not a common one, but quite a lot of people have it, right? So clearly there is a part of the story that didn't connect with a lot of people, and I appreciate that. The only thing I would say is like, it's more than just like, oh, I didn't forgive him, because as she explains as well, it's like she's lost everyone important in her life because of her situation, and it's kind of like she feels she owes it to the people who have passed, her mom, I forgot her name now, the girl she loved or whatever,
Dina. See, it's so dry. You forgot her name, Dina.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, at the end of the day, like all these people and all the suffering I've seen, and I have the ability, the chance, it's not like guaranteed, but the chance to right that wrong and remedy it. So she kind of feels that responsibility, like fuck, like I need to do this.
No, and I get it, and she says that I need to do this, and again, I get it. The whole like I get what they're trying to do. There was a revenge, and they turn into like, you know, forgiveness is essentially what it became to at the end of the game. Both of them had to come to terms with like, when does it end? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, like, revenge doesn't do anything, which, you know, consequently is just like God of War story, but I won't go there. But that's what it is. To answer your question, like I said before, there's ways of doing stories and such that it doesn't create such a crazy ass divide. It's not about Joel, because Joel happened, you can get over it. It's about how they structured the game itself.
How they made him die.
No, I once again, and I'm getting irritated. Once again, it's not about Joe. It's not fucking about Joe. It's not Joe. You keep saying that over and over again. I am so tired of the fucking fanfare saying that we're irritated about Joe dying. And we keep telling you it ain't Joe that's the problem. It is not Joe. I keep telling you, and you're going to go back to saying it's Joe. I just finished telling you. See, if you weren't talking over people, you would have heard it. I just told you the structure of the game is the problem. It's the structure of the game. I don't want to have to do this back and forth shit. That's number one.
You were talking about the structure where Abby came in and how Joel died. That type
I never said how Joel died, though. I'm talking about Abby.
Anyway, let's get off that. Look, I was going to say that's an important thing, right? The divisiveness. But I do think like it was structured in a way to get people to question their own tribalism.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, look, I'm going to say, look, at the end of the day, like, I'm Muslim, right? And some of the themes in this game is actually he's Israeli, right? The director Neil Druckmann is Israeli, right? So it was really interesting for me because, you know, it does have like almost like an analogy to Israel-Palestine situation in the game, and between the WLF and the Seraphites, right? The Seraphites kind of like Palestine, and the WLF is kind of like a representation of Israel. Like they're in this endless cycle of violence for you know, land essentially and for power. And the Seraphites, you know, they have that religious ideology, and you know, they're sometimes misunderstood as extremists by the WLF and vice versa. And there's a lot that can be learned from each other, except, you know, they have history of just murder and violence and torture and whatever, and it clouds things. So I think, like, yeah, the whole point is, like, it's the othering, right? Like, what you think of the other people, because you have such a like a connection to Joel. Will you be able to see the other side? Will you be able to consider Abby's like pain or her you know, side of the story, or will you not be able to because of
Nibs. Like the premise. Hold on, Nibs. The premise of this, right, is cool, and I keep saying this over and over and over and over again. The premise of the story is cool. The execution sucks.
But what? Give me some examples of
That
where you think the execution
they
sucks.
they
What
knew
should've
how
changed?
they knew how to create like Ellie, right, as a character, and Joel and Tess. They knew how to make you like those characters.
Yeah,
Abby
because they made it off of
Abby is. I'm about to
property,
mute
the
people.
Road.
I swear to God, I'm about to mute and kick.
Oh my lord, I'm sorry.
I am so fucking tired of this shit, yo. I don't want to yell, man.
Just let everyone just have their
Jesus
say,
fuck,
just
man.
let
Every time I go in there, like,
interrupt.
okay, so, like, my whole thing is when they were creating stories back in the day, it was cool. You know, I mean, not back in the day. When they were creating stories in the first game, it was cool. They knew how to make an engaging character. I don't think Abby, regardless of what she's doing, it's not about Joel. If you take away if you objectively take away that beginning and walk with her without her killing Joel, whatever the case is, it's just not a compelling story to me. She's not a compelling character in terms of she's just not compelling.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, some people are not going to find her enjoyable.
No, but here's the thing
but
when you hit it, you hit the spot right.
What I would say with Ellie, I don't actually really like Ellie as a character, but what I do like about her character, as in not her personality, like I wouldn't hang out with Ellie, but what I do like about it is how relatable her trauma and her flaws are. Because we all do fucked up shit, and we all have those moments where we're pushed to limits or whatever, and she deals with her trauma in a really bad way. And why wouldn't she? She's like a kid who's grown up in the worst fucking scenario, and she's had people she loves die constantly around her. She's literally treated as, in the first game, as basically
like a medical equipment, but here's the thing. This is what I'm trying to tell you though.
Girl,
but Nibs,
I fully expect her to be a flawed human.
But Nibs, this is what I'm saying. Nibs, this is what I'm saying. Like you saying that I don't like her as a character, like I said, but we're not making real characters. You still got to make a story, and you still got to make a game. So there's certain things that you have to do. This is the problem with Horizon. You still got to do certain things to make your character cool, or whatever the case is. That's how you know you can have the barometer of how cool your character is, right? You can have that barometer. You can make realistic characters and stuff like that, and it may hit for some, but for the majority, I guarantee you. I was looking at the polls for The Last of Us Part 3, and people don't want a Last of Us Part 3 really.
Because they don't understand the story.
It doesn't matter about them understanding the story.
That's literally what it is.
No, it's not.
I'm really confused as to why people do it.
Yeah, it's because they want Joel. That's what it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Anybody who tells me I'm going to call bullshit.
Like PlayStation camera games or movie games or whatever, that is the best game from PlayStation, in my opinion, that tells the story and also gives you great gameplay.
But you like Black Swan, though.
I like it, honestly.
That was an Oscar-nominated movie.
I'm fucking with you.
I honestly think, like in like 10 years, 20 years time, I genuinely think that people will look back at Last of Us 2 and be like, do you know what? That story was well ahead of its fucking time. I really think it was too much for gamers. Honestly, I genuinely, because from everything, from the structure, it kind of had Pulp Fiction vibes, like the way they were splitting things up and challenging you in this way and challenging your tribalism or your love for adoration, because this happens in cinema all the time. It's like we forgive and forgo evil shit that characters do because of our fan fiction.
Yeah,
No,
but what do you call it?
As well, Nib, it's not just that. The story was masterfully written, so we follow a smuggler who's not the best of people, and we see him from a side where we have a bias. It was kind of like we had Stockholm Syndrome. So the thing is that, like, the way that the first story was written, because remember, this is not an original story. The first game, it was based off of The Road. So, like, if you've read the book or seen the movie, you already know what it's all about. Essentially, it functions like The Road, except in a universe with, a virus that is basically spreading.
So let me just say this. I really want to get off this topic. I didn't want to be on this topic for a fucking hour, explaining to you why I didn't want to fucking talk about Joel. This is not about Joel. Can you, bro? I'm trying to play games, man, and you keep you having like thesis and shit like that. I'm not trying to have a thesis about this game, man. I'm really not.
I know, but can I get to the part about the third game though?
Yeah.
Like the poll. Okay, there were people who did not understand why there needed to be a second game.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that they left you on a cliffhanger because of Joel's lie. And this is one of the things I was saying. Like,
was it a cliffhanger?
When even the people at IGN were like, "Why is there a second game?" You know, and they're like, "I liked it when Joel, lied and the game was over. That was it." You know, like people.
That was the perfect. That's the perfect inferring, because you never quite knew what to expect. You never quite knew how she felt with it, and that game should have ended with the first one. I think the reason why, despite the fact that the game, I'm just gonna start muting people. That's just how it's gonna be from this point on. If you start talking, you get muted. You know what it is.
But I was trying to finish.
Because I don't want to hear it. Look, this is the space. I have to run the space. I'm not trying to have a thesis. That shit wordy as fuck, yo. I'm trying to tell you, it's wordy. It's too, yo. You having like 5 minutes straight on a game that I don't like. I don't like the game. I don't want to hear about it like that.
Hold on one second, Josh.
I'm going to end it with this. Regardless of how you feel about The Last of Us, and this is why it's a great piece of art. Because that's what good art does at the end of the day.
It does not. Stop yourself, Kerr. Kerr, stop it. Stop it, Kerr. No. Girl, no. Good art causes good conversation, right? This is not a good conversation.
This is great conversation.
This is not good for me. Look, I'm not debating. Look, we're not debating whether. Hold on. Where's that mute button? Where's that mute button? I can't. I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
I'm gonna mute myself.
We're not talking about if you like a character or not. I'm talking about the actual parts of the game. The game has issues. Now, here's the thing. I won't be a dick too much right now anymore. I'll tone it back. Has anyone watched Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Right?
Partially.
That dude did some heinous shit in that show.
Yep.
And they managed huh?
What show you talking about?
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Oh.
They managed to do two things. They showed both sides of the situation, right? And they allow for you to understand both. You knew he was an awful person.
Breaking Bad is a great example because it actually has a reaction from the community that's actually quite similar and touches on a similar thing. Where in Breaking Bad, you find the fandom, they hate Skyler, right? They really hate Skyler, and they prop up Walter White to this kind of fan fiction adoration level, even though he is a piece of shit, really. And all along he was just selfish and he did it for himself. We know that. I know initially
he was more to it. He was more than that, though.
Yeah, he was more than that. Don't get me, he was an amazing character, but he initially, like, he peddled this, it was a false belief that he's doing everything he's doing for his family, right? Because a man's got cancer, he needs to save money, but it never was about that. He had once he got a taste of the power of the growth about his, what kind of impact he could have and his rise, he had, he got addicted to that. And people hate Skylar for basically being decent, really, if you think about it.
But Nib, is that true? Do you look? Okay, so here's the thing: when people look at Breaking Bad, right? People will still say that Breaking Bad is one of the greatest stories told, right? They're not saying that this is flawed storytelling. That's not the conversation. I'm saying it's flawed storytelling within The Last of Us. There's pacing that they did in Breaking Bad, and they just expertly crafted. Me personally, I was on the fence. I was on the side of the fence where I couldn't stand Skylar. You know why I didn't like Skylar?
Yeah, go on.
She was a bitch. She was also a selfish bitch too, and she did some things. If she was so morally correct, right? She wouldn't been trying to launder money. That's number one, because he already told her what it was. But also, she did fuck her boss and told him about it just to show out. And to me, for her husband, that's not a good person. For her husband.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Like, people, the way you're talking about humans is like in absolutes. Humans you can go towards moral.
Nibs. I'm basically Nibs.
Hold on. Let me finish. Like, what I'm saying is, like, we can do fucked up shit, but still find a path to what we believe is morally right. It's like, like, we've all done loads of bad shit, but there are times where you're like, do you know what? This is too much. Like, right now, I do not want to be fucking supporting basically a drug dealer who
she did though. She did, and she loved it.
She did. Yeah,
she loved it, and to the point where it started. To the point where she started doing it. My whole thing is this: you said that she was morally better than him, and I don't think she was.
Yeah, no matter what you tell this dude, he's not gonna like The Last of Us Part 2. So I don't give a fuck how many analogies you use, how many comparisons you use. He does not like The Last of Us 2. He does not.
I understand that. Like, we could try. Like,
no, you can't try. My shit, yo.
It's not gonna change, bro. He does not care.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He throws like drumsticks at people, man. Like at the family table. That's the conversation we're having with Illicit right now, man.
I'm not trying to convince Illicit that. I'm not trying to convince Illicit that.
Going, it just reinforces the point of how great of a.
I'm done with you, Kerr. Yo, Kerr. You know what? We're gonna take this shit offline, yo.
Every minute we keep going, it's just like, damn. There's so many opinions, so many ways of like going.
No, but I keep trying to explain. I keep trying to explain to you guys that it's not the fact that I feel some kind of way about this. Like, I feel some kind of way about the characters. I don't like the way that the story was written.
But you just gave us an idea.
What?
You were saying that maybe if Abby had gone into the town, how would it have gone? But
not just that. My bad. Let me explain that. Not just that. That was one scenario, but it wasn't just that. Like I said before, Abby. But I mentioned Walter White because we know that he was a horrible person. They still made him likable. To me, Abby is not.
Joe was likable to a lot of people. Dude,
but here's the thing, Abby, yo, you can't have a conversation if you don't hear the other side completely. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, look how many people boycotted the game because they like Joel.
That's okay, but there's other people out there that don't like the game in general, and it has nothing to do with Joe, or has partial thing to do with Joe. You can't just make a blanketed statement. If Joe died, people weren't mad at the fact that Joe died. It was how he died, which was the issue. That's number one. Number two, my issue is this with Abby. To me, Abby, if she has a standalone game, to me, what was so good about her character, other than just
about whether she's.
Oh my God, man, we're talking about if you're gonna make a character-driven game, right? You gotta have personality and shit like that, right? With it.
Yes.
So my whole thing is this: the reason why people had an issue with The Last of Us Part 3 is just quite simply, if it's going to be led by Abby, they're like, well, I mean, she was kind of a dry character. She was a tool for the story, really, not a character.
The main core character is Sorry.
I was
Listen,
gonna say, do you think that the leaks had anything to do with your judgment on the game or how the game was perceived? Because I feel like those leaks were very. I didn't see the leaks.
For a lot of people, it was
For me, when I played the game, it was brand new, and I just enjoyed it as it was. But like, I know those leaks are all over the place. So
I think it had a lot to do. I think it had a lot to do with a lot of people. For me personally, no, because I think a lot of people, if you read it, a lot of people
Hey, bro, I'm back. Got disconnected.
prejudice.
no, it's not press. See this fucking.
No, where a lot of prejudiced people came out like out of their skin, like snakes.
No, it wasn't. There was no prejudice. Yo, what is up with these
Abby
new
was a
age
transgender
people? What
person.
is up with
Yeah,
these
it's
new age
insane,
people?
bro. It was insane.
What is up with
That's
these
what
new?
happened.
What, yo, what is
Screenshots.
up with this generation of
Screenshots
people?
of the YouTube videos.
Hold on. What is up with
Bro.
these YouTube? What is up with these people? You guys, right? That keeps painting
guys? What
things.
do you mean, you
That keeps
people?
painting things as racist. Not everything is fucking racist.
Yeah,
or of color. I thought we were all of color.
Not everything is
What's
racist,
going
bro.
on?
Not everything is
No,
racist. You can't just
Henry,
blanket it that.
We're all people.
Nah, listen, they're not wrong though, because there was videos with like 500,000 views of just people gunning the game for being SJW, for being pro-lesbian,
Yep.
for Abby being transgender and all this other
Yeah,
shit.
but that's
Like,
views,
they-
nibs.
said that- That
That doesn't mean because you viewed it. That doesn't mean that you view it, that you agree with it. Look at Mark Cerny's.
No, I'm not.
But you're saying that there's millions of views and
and
insinuating that everybody liked it or agreed with that vision or that video.
No, that's not what he's saying. But he's saying.
No, I'm talking about you. You said it. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you.
Can I ask one question? What's the point of this conversation? What's the point of this conversation? If you don't like the fucking game, who gives a fuck? Don't like the game. It's 2 years old. Like, I don't understand. Why are you trying to convince them to like the game or not? If there's a part 3 and you don't like Abby, don't play the fucking game. If this is a dumbass conversation.
I'm not trying to convince him to like the game. I'm just giving my opinion on.
Because the thing is, that just goes to show how great this game is. That's such a great story, a great conversation.
I can't wait. If it's such a great story, if it's such a great story, I can't wait to see number 3's sales numbers and see how that goes. I can't wait.
Oh, bro, it already profited. There's no, you can't.
No, I'm not talking about 2. I'm not talking about 2. I'm talking about 3. I just want to see what it looks like. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, it doesn't matter. The story's over at that point. They're not going to keep that game going forever. The whole point is for Ellie to save the world.
Is it really that point? That's for
Yes.
real? Okay.
Because Joel stopped her from saving the world. Bro,
Uh-oh.
hold on a second. This is what I was trying to get at. The whole point of the game was that hope was to be restored within the cycle because of the fact that the last Firefly was supposed to survive, even the onslaught of Ellie herself, who was supposed to be the savior of mankind. So essentially, Abby, remember, she was being brought into the whole fold of reestablishing the Fireflies as a unit and going back to try and save the world again. Once, what's his name? Her boyfriend, not her boyfriend, the guy who always liked her, but he could never have her because of Joel. Joel screwed her up so bad, she could never love anybody or give him the time of day. Owen. And the thing is that, like, Owen turned her onto the idea of, after this whole situation was gone, basically retreat to California, go out west, and essentially try to find the rest of the Fireflies. So she went out west. Huh?
There is no hope, though. And once Joel killed Abby's father, that's it. The game is the world is over. There will never be a cure.
Ellie is the vaccine. She just had to die.
Yo, that goes to show you his viewpoint on the game is
That's the reason why.
Stage. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is
who's
now.
gonna do the surgery? I get it, but
Yeah, but I think there will be other people who can do it.
Yes.
obviously.
No.
Yeah,
there's other surgeons in the world, dude. I'm sure.
And I think this is why this game is so amazing because, like, you guys all have these theories that, like, someone else is going to save the world. And in my opinion, like, just how the game is structured, I see the game going on with, like, an Abby and Love. And then Love meets someone else or whatever.
But the thing is that the whole game revolves around. Yeah, but the game revolves around finding a vaccine. And the only person in the game capable of creating a vaccine that we know is Ellie.
Bro,
That's
your
why
your
Joel,
Lord and Savior,
hold on.
your Lord and Savior Joel, not Joel, Neil Druckmann. That's not the story that he said that this game was about.
Lord and Savior. Hold on.
It was human condition. It's the story that he was trying to make.
Why are you gonna throw that man under the bus?
No, he literally said what the story he was trying to make. It was about the human condition. That's what the story. That's what he was saying.
It is about
There is no, yo, there will be no cure, bro.
Right.
Yeah. I think stage means overarching. He's not talking about Last of Us 2.
No, I know what he's saying, but he, like I said,
here we go.
he's inaccurate because the
Well,
creator of the
what am I
story,
saying now?
the creator of the story,
But we
it
don't know
says
what
that
Last of
there's
Us 3 will be about.
Exactly.
his
Everything's leading in that
like
direction.
the story. Okay, so the mechanics or the plot, whatever you want to call it, whatever the case is,
Yes.
isn't about the vaccine. Her immunity was part of the like the plot key or whatever the
Yes.
case is.
Yes.
But it was only to show human condition. That was the reason
Joel
for it.
gaslit her and made her think that there were more people so that she wasn't special.
Bro, he literally
He
Neil.
lied.
See,
He
this
made
is
her
where
think-
Can you calm down real quick? You're getting way out of control. Relax, bro. The thing is, the Fireflies would have found other doctors already. The whole fucking entire America doesn't have a doctor to do this fucking thing. They already went east to west coast. I don't understand what you're trying to say, bro. The game is not about the cure. It's about The Last of Us. It's about people. How people treat each other. It's about
No, I
how people
understand that.
interact with each other. There will be no cure. I guarantee you. I will bet $100 right now on part 3. Ellie is not gonna get fucking killed.
Hold on.
They gotta expect her
Why
brain.
would they? Hold on, but can you hold on? Can I ask you a question?
That may-
If there's no hope,
Hold up, y'all. Hold on.
Jemiah, hold on a second. If there's no hope, then why would Owen try to get what's her name, Abby, to try and reestablish and find the rest of the Fireflies out west?
I think the
Because the whole purpose of their group is to find the vaccine.
No, I feel like niggas are trying to rebuild community in this, like, forgotten world. Like, it's just like, yo, we're still alive, right? Like, it's really the last.
Yeah, but that's the
of us.
point
This
of
is
their
like-
existence.
No,
That's what they're
it's
all about. That's their
I
mission
never
statement.
got that from the game. I never.
You
got
can't
it
see.
from
You
the
see
game
why
that
y'all was so buddy with this story, y'all. Y'all done back yourself in the corner. Because now y'all know nobody's wrong now. Now nobody's wrong. Now nobody's wrong.
Interpreted from different
What are you
ways.
talking about, man?
That's a good
to be
story.
divisive like that. It's
Yeah,
the
stage.
story.
I don't think they will find it
Yeah.
personally. I
Well,
don't think
hold on. Wait. Yo, Puka. Is Puka in here?
Good and moral people.
Is Puka in here?
People are bad. People are just people.
Is
That's the
Puka?
whole point of the whole story, bro. No,
Is-
he's not in here.
is Pu-
The
is-
whole point of the story is to show people, like John said, the human condition. People are just scared. That's it. That people are just fucking.
I think there's more to the.
That's the total
Every
fucking
game
story,
has
bro.
I mean, it's a lot more than that, but yeah,
it's
that's
more
obviously
than that.
one
It's
facet.
not that bleak, dude.
Yeah,
Bro, Ellie let Abby live, and then she goes back to nothing. She wasted
Yes,
all that
because
shit,
she would have
and now she
shared
has
Joel's fate.
nothing.
She
And
would
now
have
she has
shared
nothing.
Joel's fate.
So I don't think.
No, Lev was
I
the
don't
same
think she
age
does.
that Ellie. Hold on 1 second. Ellie was the same age. I mean, Lev was the same age that Joel was when Joel met Ellie. If Ellie would have killed her, she would have let Lev go, but Lev would have regrouped and found a way to kill her later.
No.
Yes.
There's no way that Lev would have lived without Abby. Lev would have not survived without Abby, bro. Are you crazy? No.
Yes.
No, Lev wouldn't.
Yes, that was the cycle. Nobody would
Bro,
have
when they got to Santa Barbara, they both almost got fucking killed, bro. What are you talking about? Lev would have not survived without Abby. Are you kidding me?
And that's why because she empathized with Lev, she wanted it doesn't matter what she wanted. The fact of the matter is that Lev would have come back and killed her had she let Lev live.
All right. Look. So this is what we're gonna do, right? I'm.
He's making up shit now.
No, I'm not.
Wait, before you
So
carry
you're
on.
telling me if
Yo.
she was to be traumatized, if Lev was to be traumatized and watch her caretaker being killed and live to see the day because Abby had nothing with
And like, wasn't there like a whole scene where he killed his mom or like,
Exactly.
yeah, so it's like if you want to talk about trauma, like and this is why I think the story is so fucking great. We could all have different points of views of how this story is driving, like how the narrative is driving this overarching story.
I just want to say one thing, right? Jeremiah, if that's how you pronounce it. You know, you said she's lost everything. I actually don't. Hold on. I actually don't think she has, because there is, like, basically, if you see in the final scene where she leaves to find Abby again, Dina is wearing the bracelet. I forgot what it's called, the hubusta or something like that. The hand and eye icon bracelet. But then when Ellie goes back, the final scene when she's playing the guitar with her missing fingers, she's actually wearing the bracelet again. So I think indirectly they're saying she has actually already seen Dina, and they've reconnected or whatever, and she's just going back.
She could have left the bracelet on the counter in the house.
But I assume, you know.
Yo, Jemiah, you a fool, yo. Yo, Jemiah, you a fool.
Her losing her fingers lost her connection to Joel. She can no longer play the guitar.
That's true.
She can no longer have that connection.
Yeah,
She
no
is
longer
done,
able to play
bro.
the guitar. Yeah.
And part 3 to bring Ellie back makes no sense. It makes no sense to bring Ellie back as a character for anything, unless you're gonna kill her. That's what I'm saying. There's not gonna be a cure.
I'm telling you,
I can see her being a side character, like a cool side character.
A side character for what?
Chico.
No.
Chico just needs attention. Just ignore him for a second.
That shit wasn't. Goddamn fire detector. God, stop, man. Yo, stage block, change your goddamn fucking smoke detector battery.
Yo, what's going on, Cheat, man?
Yeah, but Jamie, like, I was gonna say, you know, you said there's no point of Ellie being in the third game. I mean, we don't know that. Let's see what they put
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would say
she don't got enough fingers to be in the next.
What's the point of her being in the third game?
Because
Chico
has to go on a mission. No, Abby's mission is not finished. Remember, in the end of the game, they were supposed to. Hold on a second. They were supposed to go to the island to when she's taking the boat, and then you know, like at the end of the game, after you beat the game, the boat makes it to the island that Abby was supposed to get to reconnect with the Fireflies. So because remember, she got back on the intercom with somebody who was there, and they told her where they were.
Yeah,
and
she's there already. She's found it.
They were supposed to reconnect with them. And if she reconnects with them, if Ellie goes anywhere near them, they will kill her.
Well, stage block. Okay. Ellie just wiped out. No, look, listen. Ellie wiped out a whole fucking city by herself. You think the Fireflies are gonna kill her? Get the fuck out! That would be stupid as a Joel getting killed by Abby.
No, but hold on. That's the point. You're missing my point. The whole point is that no, but hold on a second. The whole point is that who is Ellie's in? Who is Ellie's in?
Y'all making your own fan fiction on the fly, yo. Let's I got a question for all of you. No, yo, stop, stage, stop. Done with it, Dunzo.
Who is Ellie's in?
Yo, no more Ellies, no more Last of Us. I'm done.
Listen, real quick. So time out real quick. So he's saying that part 3's purpose is gonna be Abby goes back to the Fireflies, then goes back to Jackson, Ellie says, okay, kill me. That's in the game.
No.
Stage, who's the end? Who's the end stage? Tell us who's the
Abby
end.
is the end to the Fireflies.
Absolutely not.
No.
What do you think Owen was trying to kill
Owen,
do?
What are we talking about? Owen.
Bro, this dude is high, bro. Honestly. No. If Ellie wants to die so bad to save the world, then the whole part 3 is Abby goes back to fucking Fireflies, she gets them, she goes to Jackson, hey Ellie, we have a new doctor, let's do the surgery, okay, I'm gonna save the world, the game is over.
Why do you think
fucking sense.
Why do
The
you think
next
she's
game
adamant to find the Fireflies, Jemiah?
Why do you think she's so adamant to find them?
She wants her missing fingers. Chico, stop throwing
Because she has nowhere to go, bro. She has nowhere to go.
No! Owen told her to find the Firefly.
Instead of trying to
Josh, meet the stage. It's
No,
chaotic. Meet the
real
stage.
quick. If she finds the Fireflies, what happens next then? What happens next? Explain to me what happens when she finds the Fireflies. Please explain to me.
She goes back to that group, but the fact of the matter is, because remember,
Okay, then what happens then? No, time out. Who gives a fuck? What happens then?
I'm saying that the chances are.
He's kind of right for Last of Us 3. What are we doing here? Who cares what stage thinks? It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
It's ridiculous. She finds her fireflies.
I can't.
Dude, the whole
I changed
point.
my mind. I'm on team stage right now.
Explain to me.
The game. When you beat the game,
You beat the game twice. I know how the game ends, bro. What I'm saying is,
Oh.
she meets the rest of the fireflies. What happens after that?
why did you go to Catalina Island?
Dog does.
Why did you?
Oh shit.
I don't give a fuck why she went to the island.
Why are you asking that question?
You think why she's going though?
He keeps saying that. He keeps saying that.
Oh god.
What happened, Shemaya? We were.
Abby wants to meet the fireflies. Abby wants to meet the fireflies.
What he's saying is that.
Stage's voice sound like that.
Yeah, but Jamie,
Oh god.
You called the man.
Just answer me this. When Abby meets the fireflies, what happens next?
Both admitted we both agreed that
Oh my god. Why can't you answer the
Catalina Island.
Y'all gotta lay off the eggnog.
Why can't he answer the question though? I'm just. Why can't he answer the question?
We will find out what happened. I think that what's going to happen is that
I think Abby's gonna meet up with
what's going to
Solid
happen in
Snake.
10 years?
No,
Like,
but I
who the
think
fuck
what will
knows?
happen is that she will reconnect with them.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to find out. The thing is, I think.
Where does Solid Snake come into the picture, though?
The best PlayStation game of all time. I'm gonna keep saying.
No, we're not going. No, we ain't going to do that, Kurt. No, I got a question for all of you guys.
This dude is making no sense, bro. This dude is making no sense. He's saying that. He said that the fireflies whole mission. Listen.
You to school today. God
No, he's time out real quick. He said that the fireflies. Yo, watch the fuck up. He said that the fireflies whole mission is to get a cure, right? If their whole mission is to get a cure, and Abby needs to. Bro, y'all niggas is so ignorant.
I can't
If
believe
he's saying, yo, will you shut up,
You're the
bro?
one who wants everybody to die.
No, Sturge, what I'm saying is, if the fireflies' whole mission is to get the cure, the only way to get the cure is to kill Ellie. That's the whole. Okay, then, so you're saying that Abby's gonna meet the fucking. That's what I said. That's what I said.
And there's no Joel to
That's what I
stop
fucking
her from doing
said.
what she's meant to do.
But Ellie wants to
That's what I
die,
was
so
saying the whole time.
there's no. But then there's no conflict. All it
No,
is
she
Abby
lost her
goes.
girlfriend. She lost everything.
No.
There's only one thing to do now. And the
They
one
lost the
person
fucking
she can
finger.
trust, the only
Then what's
person
the
that
point
she
of
can
having a
get that
fucking game? Then what's the point of having a game?
Yes,
If all
but
you do
only-
is go, bro. There's no conflict. She goes to the fucking island. She meets the fireflies. They go to Johnson. Ellie says, "Kill me." The game's over. That's it.
Bro, she almost Abby almost died trying to find the firefly.
Damn, stage blogger.
Abby almost died trying to find them.
Bro, this nigga is retarded.
You can't say
Oh
the
my
R word,
how?
man.
Explain it. You're not explaining it.
I think the game is larger than just Ellie, Joel, Abby, and all these people. It's like The Last of Us. It's world building.
They could have did. Hold on. Let me say this. No more. I'm gonna say this. Hold on. I will be. Yo, I'm gonna mute everybody one by one, yo.
One at a time. Let's take it one at a time. Look, at the end of the day.
Six at a time. It's so much
No, stop. Yo, stage, Jay, Jemiah, stop.
Logic.
Hold on, Chico, just shush a minute,
Don't
man.
make
He's
this
a
about me.
cheerleader
Don't
in the
make
corner,
this
man.
about
He's
me.
just like.
Cheerio.
Look, anyway, Jamia, the thing is, right, like, none of us know what's going to happen, but they're obviously going to take a simple premise, which Last of Us 1 and Last of Us 2 is, and add loads of fucking character building, world building. They'll introduce new characters. They'll be ups and downs.
Hold on, no, wait, Nib, you did this shit the last time, man. Where you dragged this, you dragged these fucking spaces, man, with this Last of Us rhetoric.
Yeah.
The thing is, right?
I mean,
Rhetoric. The Last of Us written.
Listen, I know this much, right? The Last of Us writers are obviously a lot more intelligent and better at writing than anyone in this fucking room.
You think so,
Like,
right?
He's asking the question, what's going to happen? But we don't know. We don't have a team of writers coming up with spending fucking every hour of years.
Well, the
coming
new
up with-
the title for the third one already got leaked, and it's called The More of Us. So what do you think that means?
Jesus, stop it, bro. Stop
All I'm
it.
saying is this: if they want a Last of Us Part
A
3,
few of us.
if they want a Last of Us Part 3, just don't even have these characters. Let somebody know.
Yo, don't even make a Last
Wait,
of
see,
Us
this is the point. It's not
story's
about the
fucking
story anymore
done.
for these guys. They're done with the story.
That's what I'm saying. But people were like, "Yo, the
No, but
tone."
that's not fair
Can you
to
please stop, man?
finish
I'm just gonna
the
mute you,
story.
yo. You keep doing this shit.
Oh my god.
Stage, I don't think they are done, man.
They're done.
No,
They're
but
totally
I'm not
done.
talking about Naughty Dog. I'm
This
talking
nigga
about
stage is
listen.
retarded, bro.
You gotta stop saying the R word.
I said shit whatever I want, man. You
Honestly,
retarded.
bro, like
That's
you're an
a
asshole.
terrible word.
Hey, no, honestly, like you're
We-
an asshole.
Wait a minute,
Honestly,
Steve called him an asshole.
I'm not. I can say anything I
I've
want.
never heard Steve call someone a name before.
No, look. First and foremost,
I don't stoop to Jemiah's level, dude. I don't have a superiority complex.
Yo.
I don't know who you are, but I know you are emotional, brother. You are emotional.
How am I emotional? The only person that we know that has the fucking
Your voice, you're calling people retarded, like you're getting
Yo,
emotional.
he's extrapolating. He's extrapolating from a point that makes no sense. Ellie's the only one that can be made a cure from. The only way he can get a cure is to kill Ellie. So therefore,
we don't know that. We
the
don't
only. Okay, then what's the point of the first two fucking games?
Yes.
I still can't believe Steve called him an asshole.
Yo, all right. So why? Look. Yo, I'm muting.
Might just sacrifice yourself.
We are all gonna play the game.
Stage, how much eggnog did you have tonight?
Bro. Hey, listen, in part 3, everybody's gonna have a fucking, a cure. Everybody's gonna have a fucking, immunity. Oh my god, everybody has immunity now. Everybody's going around immunity because all these women got bit when you're pregnant all of a sudden. Like, come on, bro, this is dumb as shit.
Wait, what?
This is dumbest fucking shit, bro.
Yo, that is, The Last of Us was not about.
Address the fact that Stage said you're an asshole on Christmas Eve. I never heard Stage curse at someone, so I feel like we need to address this. How much eggnog
Who
did you
cares,
have
bro?
today?
This motherfucker talking about, like, there's gonna be 28 Ellies running around in part 3.
No, that's what Joel told her.
How much eggnog
Hold
do you
on.
have?
No. Hold on a second.
No. You are disrespecting the space by keep bringing this shit up. I'm not done. Yo, stop it. Leave. No, he's. Yo, nope. No. That's what we're gonna do. You wanna talk about disrespecting people, man? You can't just keep talking about the same shit when I told you to stop. Hold on, Jemiah.
You an asshole.
Hold on.
This is off the rails.
It is off the fucking rails.
Just let it happen.
No, but hey, what did Joel tell
Why are you still talking about it, man? No, you keep talking about that shit, man. I've been wanting to move on an hour and a half ago. You still talk about these raggedy ass games.
This is dumb as fuck.
Can we see if we can get Stage to curse again, please?
Great art is gonna always inspire.
I'll see you. Hey, Jemiah, I'll see you when the third game drops. I'll see you when the third game drops.
Outlet mall, bitch.
I'm gonna be laughing too with this fucking 20 Ellies running around. There's a whole.
Yeah, I don't think Jemiah likes the game.
If they still go to try to find
Nick,
a
you an
that game,
asshole.
I'm coming back.
Yo, if I mute you again, Stage, if I mute you again, yo, I'm just gonna have to kick you out the room.
That's what Joel.
Yo, that is mad, yo. That shit is mad disrespectful, yo.
Comment on him. Pause.
What
Hold
I'm
on.
saying is the only rational conclusion is that the Fireflies have to still go get Ellie to make the cure.
Yes.
What?
So if Ellie wants to die willingly, there is no conflict.
That's conflict in and of itself,
But Jemiah, hold on. The thing is, though, we don't know.
No, Nibs! No!
I'm muted!
No more!
Combo, kill it. It's in
Don't kill it, let it go!
Listen, she might not want to die in 10 years' time.
No! I don't want to hear it no more. That's not even the space. The title of the space. It's not The Last of Us.
Space?
Yeah, but the thing is, all I was gonna say is, look, she can grow. She might want her.
I don't care. She growing. Like Jemiah said, I don't like the game. I don't care. I will never buy another fucking title.
Yeah, so what the fuck are we having this discussion for then?
Because I need to go at it some more. I know.
We're not going at it, bro. We're not. Relax. We're not going at it.
Nah, I would.
Yo, Nibs, this is how Americans get down. Well, we're barbaric.
Hey, YouTube love. Shoot, everybody like his video right quick, man. Now.
They don't come in here bringing your peace bullshit on Christmas Eve. Don't bring that peace shit here.
Chico, I said earlier, look
I
like this
want war.
No, I said this game was made to be divisive because...
No, what? No, stop it. No.
See, that's the problem. Y'all just came here to fight on Christmas Eve.
Nope. You stage too, yo. You stage. Stage. I respect. No.